Let's see if I am still flexible. So if you follow my instruction, you will be flexible in 1 year. When you watch television, please don't sit on comfortable couches, but sit like me on the floor, and while you're watching the news for 30 minutes, you must watch at least the news program to know what's going on in the world, and you flex your body left and right, so let's say you can bend only this much, about 12 inches away from floor to your head. If you stretch 30 minutes every day, 7 days a week, do you think you can improve quarter inch a week? Of course you can. Then 1 inch a month, 12 inches in 12 months. So let me show you how flexible we all can be. I can touch my chest and my body on the floor. So you have to be able to do that, because when you defend yourself in the street, you cannot say, hey, wait a minute, let me warm up first. So you must be flexible all the time. One of the greatest Chinese philosophers 2,500 years ago put it this way: a man is born gentle and weak, at death he is hard and stiff. Green plants are tender and filled with sap, at death they are withered and dry. Therefore, stiff and unbending is disciple of death, and the gentle and yielding is disciple of life. Lao Tzu. Water comes from the highest heaven, always seek for the lowest, and giving life to every living thing. When rain finishes its job, it disappears into heaven as vapor without claiming any credit. This tells we must be humble. And then posture. In order to achieve 7 physical qualities of a champion, one must be well disciplined. In 1983, my son Chanu was senior in high school. I read a book called The Making of George Washington. In that book, I found one paragraph which explained that when George Washington was 9 years old, whenever his father came in from work, he always stood up to show respect. My son Chanu never did that for me. I used to do that for my father. I thought that was not American custom, so I didn't teach my son. Now I know that is American custom as well as Korean custom, and so I told my son to read that paragraph. After he read, he said, "So what, Daddy? I used to do that for my father, you must do that for me, because I want to restore the forgotten discipline in America and around the world. Let's do that from our home." When he read the paragraph, he said, "Daddy, it is going to be awkward. You didn't teach me all these years." I told him, "You're going to be awkward not to when you get to use the new way." Then he reluctantly agreed. Next day I came home 5:30 instead of 11:30 because I was excited to receive respect from my son. When I came home, I slammed the door, make sure he heard me. He was watching television. And he turned his around like this, then he went back to television. He didn't say hello to me. He forgot. Do you know who stood up? My little French poodle, Slunky. Even animal, when he loves someone, he stand up. I told my son, "This dog never went to kindergarten. You are about to go to college. You promised me to stand up. What happened?" He was very embarrassed because my dog defeated him in human behavior contest. I teach my students and their parents 3 golden rules of teaching. Number 1, lead by example. Number 2, never fail to correct their mistakes with a smile, not until they learn, but they develop habit or skill. Number 3, continually lead by example. If you practice these 3 golden rules with your children will not be only Harvard graduate, but also saints. So let's make our children saints. Next, what I found, what is universal purpose of life? Why do you live? This question hasn't been answered throughout the history. And I say that answer must be agreed by all 6 billion people. If one person say, no, I don't agree, then I fail. But I have answer to that. It's too easy. That's why we don't know. The answer is happiness. The universal purpose of life is to be happy. If you live the philosophy of everything happens for the best, you will never worry anything, no matter what happens. For example, about 20 years ago, Florida Flight 80 plunged into 14th Bridge and killed many people. Well, I used to fly that flight to give black belt exam for my school in Tampa, Florida. Let's assume I missed the plane by 2 seconds. And I had, say, $1 million contract. All I have to be there to make about $1 million, and I missed by 2 seconds. I said, everything happens for the best. On the way home, driving home, I heard news saying that very plane plunged into 14th Bridge. If I didn't miss that plane, I would be dead. Another example is my friend John Kim in Dallas, Texas, called me to help him because he just got fired from $50,000 job. I told him, don't worry, everything happens for the best. I will try my best to find your job, but you try yourself too. 2 weeks later, when I called him to inform him that I got a job, that it will pay $60,000 a year, he told me, Master Rhee, thank you. I got $100,000 job now. If he did not get fired from that $50,000 job, he never would have looked for a $100,000 job. So from now on, no matter what happened, don't worry, be happy. You say everything happens for the best. Anybody disagree? Anybody wants to be unhappy? I'm an expert to make you unhappy. And so now we have purpose of life defined. The happiness is our purpose. I asked my dog. He said, I want to be happy. And so now we have a purpose. We can put the value. When I don't know the purpose of this microphone, what do? I throw it away because it doesn't have any values. We don't know human purpose, so we don't know human values. Now I'm going to define what are the 3 universal human values. Number 1, when are we the happiest moment? We find when we love. Anybody disagree? I know 6 billion people almost agree. Then next, why do I love my beautiful wife? Because she's beautiful. That's simple. Beauty is the cause, reason why we love each other. There are 2 kinds of beauty. One is skin, the other is heart. Skin beauty can be accomplished, maybe Mary Kay Avon. But what's the cosmetic for our heart beauty? If you repeat after me and listen to your own voice, okay, then you will feel more realistic. Repeat after me, please. When I am truthful, my heart is beautiful. When my heart is beautiful, everybody loves me. When everybody loves me, I am happy.